What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of Aware Sundays. I am your favorite self-aware narcissist, Mr. Lee Hammock, and this series right here is dedicated to, giving you the perspective of a diagnosed narcissist in therapy and how I deal with therapy, how I live my life in a better way, y'all. How I get to my life. Matter of fact, this series is dedicated for the narcissistic person, but it doesn't mean the non-narcissist can't watch it either. To just get a better, deeper look into the mindset of a narcissist. So today's episode is going to be called "What Activates You." I could say what triggers you or what sets you off, but in therapy, the word my therapist uses is activate. Activate it, yeah, because what sets you up, what makes you go to this place where you feel like you have to behave this way? What makes you go to this place where it makes you feel like you have to yell and scream and cry and beg and become an abusive, narcissistic person possibly? What is activating you? What is setting you off? You know what I mean? Because triggers are such the word trigger in and of itself seems like you're shooting a gun. You mean when you hear trigger, what do you think about? You don't think about something that sets something off nicely. When you hear the word trigger, you think of explosions, or I got the detonator right here, or I got the weapon, the weapon right here that goes click, click, bang, bang. You think you think of that right there. So the words that you use are mega important when you're dealing with narcissistic people, or you're trying to heal from narcissistic toxic abuse, or whatever you're dealing with, whoever you're dealing with, So the words you use are very, very important. So like I just said, like, what is activating you? What gets you here? How do we get here? Ask yourself, how do we get here? After a big argument, which I still have, y'all. I still have arguments. I still argue with my wife. I still argue with my kids sometimes. I still argue with my friends and my business partners and people in my life. I still argue, y'all. But ask yourself, how did we get here? And look, the only way to figure out what is activating you is to remove the other person from the scenario. What is activating you without blaming the other person? Ask yourself that question right there. What is activating you, and you cannot blame the other person. You cannot blame your partner. What is activating you? How did you get here? What are we really arguing about? I'll give you an example of this right here. I'll give you a real life example. I was doing a one-on-one today with a guy who has narcissistic personality disorder, and I told him the same example. I was just like, my wife had a surgery. My wife's a stay-at-home mom. She had a surgery, right? And she was supposed to be gone for probably a week, 2 weeks or whatever. But she came home on day like 5. She came home on the 5th day. And instead of, like I said, of course, I was happy to see her because I do miss my wife when she's gone. And I had to take care of the kids and the house and all the other stuff plus work. So I had a lot on my plate, but I was handling it, But so she came home early and was kind of in the way. Like, she was in my way doing stuff. I was trying to clean up. She was in the way. I was just like, and I could feel myself. I could feel the anger within me building up, and I didn't communicate that with her initially, right? But we got into an argument, and I was just like, she started yelling, and we were both yelling at each other, and I asked myself, of course we calmed down, we talked about it. I was like, well, how do we get here? And I went downstairs, I talked to myself, I was like, how do we get here? And then I talked to my therapist about it. I was like, she said, how did you get there? What activated you in that moment right there? I know you love your wife, I know you care about your wife, I know you care about your kids, I know you wanted to do a good job while she was gone. This is just to show her that you could do it, to have the kids, and she could do things, outside the house. Even she can heal from surgery and stuff like that. So what made you feel activated in that moment? I was just like, let me remove her from the situation. Let me put anybody else in this situation, not even just her. It could have been my friend that came back from surgery and I had to do something for him. If I was taking care of his house and he came back early, my homegirl, my sister, they come home when I'm supposed to be taking the house. They could have came back early. What is it about her coming home early that set you off? I was like, it's the fact that I feel like she didn't trust me. It's trust. It's the trust that I feel like I've lost over the years from being the person I've been. I'm trying to regain that trust. And when she came back, it's just like it's like the effort that I had put in wasn't worth it. It's just so like the effort that I had been putting in for the last 3, 4, 5 years. she didn't notice it, she didn't realize it. And I feel like she didn't trust me, so that made me angry. That activated me. It made me feel a lot of shame. It made me feel a lot of embarrassment. It made me feel a lot of different scenarios, a lot of different things in that situation right there. You know, I was just like overcome with emotions, and I didn't communicate that with her well because I felt ashamed. I was just like, "Why are you here?" You know what I mean? Why did you come back so early? I got this. The kids were good. You were still talking to the kids. It wasn't like I was keeping the kids from you. Of course, I was making little jokes about, parenting time and stuff. Like, she was going, we was FaceTiming and stuff. Of course, I joke. I was making jokes about, I was like, talk to your mom, FaceTime your mom, y'all. Like, spend time on the phone with your mom. She's not gonna be able to see you for a while. Like, the court custody. I make it sound like we had a court custody case going on. And she came home, and I just felt like she didn't trust me. And I communicated it with her later on, and she's like, I understand that. She's like, I understand that. She's like, but the way you were acting is like you didn't need me here. And that I felt like you didn't need me, so I felt like I needed to get home before you got too used to not living without me. I was like, damn it. So we could see, y'all see that lack of communication right there? But if we would have just talked about it up front, I wouldn't have gotten activated, and my attitude and my behavior and my mannerisms wouldn't have made her start yelling. You see what I'm saying? Because I was just making her seem like she was in the way. And she's like, why are you doing this to me? And then, of course, I saw yelling back. You know what I mean? But I got activated, and then I activated her. So what is activating you? Ask yourself this question. You can use the word trigger if you want to, but I just feel like the words that you use affect how you feel. Like I said, the word trigger automatically puts you in a state of where you're thinking about something getting set off, something triggering, something boom, blowing up. You know what I mean? So what is setting you off? What is making you feel activated in this moment in time to make you feel like your wife doesn't trust you, or whatever the situation is? What is it going on right now? What's going on right now? And that's right there. It's just right there. You know what I mean? That's why I just feel like, what is activating you? Peel back the layers. Ask yourself the question, why? Why do I feel this way? Why am I thinking this way? Why? Keep it asking yourself the question why until you can no longer ask it anymore. Why do I feel this way? Why am I thinking this way? Why am I behaving this way? Why? You know what I mean? And if you can, remove the person from the situation in the scenario and ask yourself that question right there. You see what I'm saying? Why? Ask yourself the question why. Why am I activated? Because I feel like that can help you heal and help you communicate with your partner or your kids a lot better. What is activating you about your kids in this situation right here? What need do you feel like is not getting met in this situation right here? Because I feel like that's where the change happens. That's where the realization happens at right there, y'all. What is activating you right now? Why are you talking like this? Why are you behaving like this? What is going on in here that is that's triggering you to behave this way? And why are we not communicating our thoughts and feelings better? Because a lot of times we don't communicate because we think people are going to use our vulnerabilities against us like we use against them. You know what I mean? A lot of times we do that, y'all. A lot of times we do that in relationship dynamics and spaces where we don't feel like we can't communicate. We can't communicate our vulnerabilities to other people because we have used vulnerabilities against them. We think they're going to get us back. We think karma is going to spin the block and come get us. You know what I mean? And that is, and then because you've used their vulnerabilities against them before, they don't want to share anything vulnerable with you anymore. So now the communication gets worse. You see what I'm saying? You see how this activation sets off a chain reaction of events. And the longer it goes on, the harder it is to stop. You know what I mean? The harder it is to stop in these situations, in these scenarios right here. That's how it is right there. You know what I mean? What is activating you? Ask yourself better, more empowering questions. You can get to a better standpoint, y'all. But anyways, y'all, I'm super like this series. Like I said again, y'all, I know this series doesn't do well view count wise, but it's reaching its target audience because I've been talking to a lot more people that have been diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder or actually in therapy or trying to go to therapy. I've been talking to a lot more people over Zoom doing one-on-ones with them here recently. I think it's because of this series. Anyways, y'all, if y'all have any topic suggestions, drop it in the comment section. I'm open to suggestions. I'm open to suggestions on content and things of that nature, y'all. I'm like I said again, I'm not the know-all, be-all, end-all source. I'm just trying to help people get a better understanding of what is going on inside a narcissistic person's head. And if a narcissistic person happens to see these videos, which I would like I said, in hindsight, thinking about it, before I got my therapy journey started, I feel like this could have helped me. It might could have helped me out. Listening to somebody who talked like me, who thought like me. I feel like that could have helped me out in hindsight, thinking about it. You know what I mean? I was like, wait a minute. This could have actually helped me out back in the day, because when I first got started on my journey, the only thing I had was self-aware narcissist Facebook groups, and those don't really exist anymore that can help you. The self-aware narcissist Facebook groups tend to be, they are still around, but they don't carry the same weight that they used to back in the day. I might be one of the reasons why it doesn't carry the same weight, because people, look at me as the source of information on narcissism, which, like I said, which is cool. But at the end of the day, I'm just a human being trying to heal and trying to work through situations and things just like everybody else. But anyways, y'all, like and subscribe for more. Interact with the video. Say hey. Mental Illness is out. Peace. Thank you so much for making it to the end of my video, y'all. Thank you for watching all the way through. I'm eternally grateful for you. If you haven't already, you made it this far, you might as well go and hit this subscription button, y'all. Turn on the notifications so we can reach more people. Help me reach more people and whatnot. The self-love brand is available as well. Link is in the description of every single video I do, y'all. I'm aware. This is the I Love Me brand. The self-love journal is also available too, y'all. I have a weekly newsletter that goes out as well. If you haven't, check in to join the channel memberships for some behind the scenes access and more perks and things like that, y'all. Thank you so much. Mental Illness is out. Peace.